Michael Crichton is one of the most successful authors of the last 50 years. More than a dozen of his novels were turned into Hollywood films, including Jurassic Park, Congo, Disclosure, and Rising Sun. Sadly, he passed away in 2008, but this week he returns to the bestseller list with Eruption. It's a classic Crichton story about a killer volcano and a race against the clock. I love it. The manuscript was discovered in 2010 by his wife, Sherri, and she enlisted another mega best-selling author to complete it, the one and only James Patterson. We have them both here, so everybody say hi to James Patterson and Sherri Crichton. To the show.
Thank you.
Yes, this is so exciting. I literally just asked if I could take this. I'm so excited about it.
You can take it home.
I know, yeah. I asked and they said I could. I was like, yes. So wait, you held on to this though for a while, right? You found the manuscript?
I did, I did. It was a couple of years after Michael passed away because I was pregnant when he passed. And I couldn't do anything right away. It was all about the baby. Mm-hmm. But when I went through Michael's papers to really stay close to him, that's when I discovered it. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is the volcano story that he was always talking about. And so it just resonated with me because it was so tender about his time in Hawaii and his love for volcanoes and all of that. And I held it because it was just a partial manuscript, and I'm like, okay, where's the rest? I was in search of where was the rest of the manuscript. Mm-hmm. So I went digging back through all his papers and files and trying to find the next really page.
Yeah.
And nothing was there.
Yeah.
So.
And so you had the greatest idea ever. So wait, were you a fan of Michael's? I think we all are.
I was a huge fan.
Yeah.
I'd read all of Michael's novels and all the nonfiction. Yeah. And when Sherri called, I said, well, let me read, what Michael had written. And I immediately said, well, one, there are two stories here. There's this volcano, and then this idea of kind of writing a little chapter in their love story, to me, was very engaging, and I wanted to do it. And it put some responsibility on me, too, to really try to do it right.
Yeah, that's a question too. So I've come in on projects where a song isn't finished. It's just like a verse or maybe like a chorus idea, and then they want me to come in and finish it out. There's a little bit more weight to that.
Yeah.
I feel like when you come into a project and you're like, wait, this isn't only my idea, so you feel an added pressure. Do you feel that?
I did.
Like that?
I did. I felt the same thing when I worked with President Clinton and with Dolly Parton.
Yeah.
We did a novel together. Yeah. So it was, I really want to make sure that I do this right. How did I do?
I think you did.
I love that you're you and you're like, I hope I get it right. I'm like, yeah. I think you will.
Well, sometimes you're sort of confident. It's another Alex Cross. I'm pretty confident.
Yeah.
But this is different. This is different, as you said.
Yeah, no, it is. It's a different thing to come in on. I do understand that aspect of it. So how long do you think he worked on this? You said it wasn't finished, but how long? Because you said he was always talking about the volcano.
He was always talking about volcanoes, especially because we had a place in Hawaii, and when we would go
Where'd you go on your honeymoon?
And I went to Pompeii. I went to Pompeii.
Yeah.
Part of our honeymoon was in Pompeii and at the base of Mount Vesuvia.
Yeah.
So romantic.
Very romantic. But Michael was always researching.
Yeah.
He was always researching. But I have footage of Michael dating back to 1974, and his research goes about that far back as well. But here is something that was really interesting. He was published for the very first time when he was 14 years old in the New York Times. And that article touches on his fascination with volcanoes and ice caves. And so when you put the pieces of that puzzle together, it's like,
what a beautiful bookend.
It's a beautiful bookend. And Jim has just been the most remarkable partner, collaborator, to see the two of them dance on that page like just the perfect duet.
And two incredible writers.
Well, yes. And you talk about you want to make sure that it holds together. Mm-hmm. And one thing I would say, a lot of people are going to read the book. I defy anyone. My challenge to people out there is try to figure out where Michael stopped and where James begins.
Yeah.
And and as you know, doing a song, the same thing. You don't want it to feel like, oh my God, here's where Kelly came in.
Absolutely, a perfect duet. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for doing this and completing it. That's such a wonderful thing. Thank you for the idea. That's so cool. And just to get to fans of his, I already have his books in my home. Just that there's another book that we never saw coming. You know what I'm saying? That's super cool. So thank you for all, from all the fans. Yes.
Oh, you're so
I
welcome.
really can't wait to see the movie too. Oh man, that's gonna be
know.
good. Eruption is out this week. Be sure to pick up a copy, y'all. Your imagination has no budget, so read it first.